Beats. Beats. Schilling, take one. Marker.
How do you hope Orange is the New Black will be remembered?
You're gonna make me cry.
Orange had its own destiny. Things sort of came together for us.
Putting this many women on TV, women of all different race, size, age, we were definitely groundbreaking.
I can't believe it's been 7 seasons. We've had this amazing run.
There was a palpable sense of us making something special.
It was the perfect time, the perfect cast, the perfect creator, Genji. It just worked.
When I read Piper's book, the most compelling thing for me were the characters. I loved this crossroads where women who never would have experienced one another, they were forced to. And in those situations, you have to change your point of view. I'm always looking for those access points.
Do you know what a mandala is?
Those are those round Buddhist art things.
Try to look at your experience here as a mandala, Chapman. Work hard. It's all temporary.
It's all temporary.
When we first started, my parents thought we were making a web series. I remember thinking, is anyone even gonna find it? We had no idea if, like, the back corners of the internet, somebody was gonna find this.
Rooms up there, dorms are down there. Now, you are not allowed down there. It's out of bounds for you guys until you get a sign that...
The first season was really exciting because we were in such a bubble. We had a fuck it attitude where it's like, let's make the show we want to make, and if it ends, it ends. It was actually thrilling, and just the discovery of all this untapped talent.
Nikki, this is, Piper. Chapman. I'll get to you, Blondie. What'd you do?
Aren't you not supposed to ask that question? I read that you're not supposed to ask that.
Well, you studied for prison?
Somehow, Jen Houston had put together this group of New York character actors that were just very unlike, anything I'd seen. And there's a real, purity to that.
Thank you, Mommy.
Thanks, Fred.
These are not little frou-frou actresses from Hollywood. I mean, these are the real thing. And to be riding that pony out of the gate was pretty exciting. Even on the first day, I thought, this is very significant. This is going to change the face and the nature and the texture of television.
Oh, I'll be out in a sec, I swear.
I definitely remember the first day. I remember seeing Danielle and Samira for the first time, and then watching Danielle's scene with Taylor when they do the TV titties in the bathroom.
Nice titties. Oh, thank you. You got them TV titties. Now, perky and everything. Okay. Now get the fuck out of the way.
And I was like, holy shit, this show is good.
I was so nervous. I was driving the car with Taylor in the back, and I remember that I didn't put the car in drive, and the car would not work. And I was like, get it together, Stone. And I just remember Taylor laughing at me, and we joked about it.
They let you drive?
What? Who else is gonna do it? We do everything around here.
My first day on set was Piper and I taking a shower in the pilot. I think that was my first scene. It was like, hi, nice to see you again. With Alex and Piper, you just got the connection right away. And when it sparks right away, you're just like, it's literally magic.
When you see those actors together and it ignites something, we fed off of that. And that, I can say that happened with a lot of the storylines. Different actors would start playing with each other and you realize there's something really chemical happening that we blew into more than what was originally planned.
We really approached the show one season at a time. So there wasn't this conscious arc over 7 seasons.
Oh, what did you do?
Those first seasons, 1 and 2, not to say there were not some heavy stuff, but it was a little lighter. I've gone back and watched it, and you're kind of like, oh, the problems weren't so hard back then. And I think we've taken it to its natural progression, which is to Max and facing the real in prison.
I don't hear no huffing and puffing. Let's go, Red. Show me what you got.
I'm taking on that.
Max changes these women. Max is hard. There was something about Litchfield that was soft. It was people that came into the environment to make it scary. Where Max, as soon as you walk through the doors, it's a different animal. So season 7 feels very uncomfortable, as it should.
I think Genji made the really wise decision to leave on a high note. This may not give you a sense of closure in all cases, because that's life, but it's gonna give you a sense of beginning, middle, and end in terms of where we started.
I gotta take it care of.
I feel like we're ending it at a beautiful moment in time for the show and for the characters.
I recently got out of federal prison. It's a part of me, and I've been hiding it, and I need to embrace it.
I think Piper has far fewer answers than she thought she did when she started this journey. And it's an interesting place to leave someone. Nothing is resolved for her. If anything, she's unraveled more, which is kind of extraordinary. It's very human.
As an actor, when you have the benefit of having this kind of time to let your character unfold, it's incredible. And to be able to play someone so complex, to see the different things in her personality unfold, and so many different things these women went through, has been amazing.
Fuck you. I think, this show has definitely encouraged and challenged each of us to look at ourselves through these characters. And as I've traversed through the 7 seasons of Cindy and seeing, her rises and falls, I've seen the same rises and falls in my life.
What the fuck?
Friend of yours?
No.
It's my mom. To play Dayanara, I think, is to experience love in such a different way, to experience a different type of relationship with her mother, with other women that we don't tend to see. She came in as a young girl, and I feel like she's staying or leaving as her own woman.
What's this? A few drops of that falls into the food, and this whole prison will be shitting their brains out.
Really? I had no idea.
Oh, you evil Russian bitch.
Gloria has had quite a journey. We saw her, start out with 1 or 2 lines, take over the kitchen, go head to head with Red, and now all she wants is just to get home to her kids. That's all she wants. We're going to see these women continue this connection, this bond that at first started as rivalry, somehow then became admiration, a friendship, and now Gloria is taking care of Red.
They came by my cell, offered me the kitchen. But I also know you turned it down.
Gloria, I don't think I can do it. Something happened to me in that box. Red is a tragic hero. We find her in the beginning quite vital, full of life, full of herself, very strong, integral to the working of the prison at Litchfield.
You need them to think you're stronger than you actually are.
That's what you do.
Oh, no. My power is no illusion. I can fucking demolish you.
And then there is a slow but very authentic disintegration. Of course, I wanted to have a sort of strong and very dramatic ending, Russian hero and all that. No, not gonna happen. Life's going to happen to Red.
You look like shit, Nikki.
Well, I got a lot on my plate right now. Red and Lorna are the 2 closest people to Nikki in this prison, and to kind of discover what Red is going through in 7 is, I just think, a devastating blow.
Trust me, yeah.
So that's what emerges as being sort of her final through line, is tying up those 2 primary relationships in a pretty devastating fashion.
The last thing I remember is Vinny came to see me, and then he took the baby away. With Lorna, in some ways, we've come full circle. We started with a woman who was so excited about her wedding, and we slowly learned that that was not a reality. Then we've seen Lorna realize her dreams in some ways, to be married, to be pregnant, to have her baby, and I thought maybe there was going to be some joy for her. But of course, the reality is this place, this circumstance, it's not a place for fairy tales.
You don't know me anymore. You may have known a version of me, but you have no idea who I am now. I am heartbroken.
I think we live in a culture that's always looking for the happy ending and why it should all resolve, but it doesn't. Theoretically, when you leave prison, you will have served your time and your quote-unquote debt to society. Our system doesn't work like that. There's very little sense of debt paid or redemption, and when you just keep grinding someone down, the consequences cannot be expected to be happy ones.
Hey! The other ladies left because they heard the former felon thing, but listen, we are here for you.
Literally no one is here for me. I think the show has done a great job illustrating from a million different angles the lack of services to reintegrate back into society. It becomes so impossible to get a job, to get health insurance, to get housing, that unless, like Piper, a person comes from a fair amount of privilege, the kickback to go right back into prison is huge.
That's why we're going to see some of our favorite characters not be able to handle with the outside world. We saw it in Tasty's character several seasons ago, where she's out and she prefers to be inside, and that's very real. And we will see characters that end up homeless. We're not trying to make it Hollywood perfect endings.
Our red uniforms are for level 2, people with felony convictions, etc. Orange are our level 1s, our non-criminals.
So they're in orange, but they're not criminals?
Well, they are criminals. They're here, right? They came to our country illegally.
And I think it's very brave to have a show that's been known for a specific tone to go there and talk about these issues. And specifically, through my character, about the immigration topic is extremely important because it's part of the result of privatizing prisons and therefore abusing human rights for profit.
Let's go!
I'm ashamed of the way our country handles people seeking asylum. Our writer's room went to visit an immigration prison, and we couldn't work the next day. No one could talk. Like our approach to prison, I want to paint a picture of human beings, not just faceless ethnic foreigners. They're all individual people with stories, and I think it's important to recognize, again, the humanity.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
No one even knows where we are.
We create empathy with an audience and people start to understand that these are people's mothers, sisters, nieces, and they start to understand the incredibly difficult situations that people are in. And I appreciate that Genji and the writers have committed to the reality of what this place is.
Working with Genji and Tara has definitely been a dream come true. They're highlighting things about our society and about our culture that we need to see.
You know, Tara and Genji are very different. Tara, I think, is more hands-on. She kind of gets in there with you and talks, while Genji is, you know, behind the scenes and speaks when she feels necessary. They're the dynamic duo, honestly, when it comes to writing and creating and getting the right group of people together.
I love the fact that they have brought democracy to a set where there's women directors, where there's women writers, where there's people of color on both sides of the screen.
We have a show that's full of diversity. I think that the legacy will still be relevant down the line 20 years from now, where it's like, it's not what it did, it's what it continues to do.
Y'all are gonna be the first microloans recipients from the Pusey Washington Fund. That's what I'm talking about. This is gonna help you get off the poverty bus so that you ain't gotta do illegal shit no more, okay?
The world that Genji built really allowed so many female characters at once to get to kind of play those more internal moments. So I think that that has really been thrilling and something I'm gonna miss very much.
Well, maybe one day we'll do a reunion tour. Play all our greatest hits.
Squat and Cough, Foot Fungus, and of course, our #1 hit, Anything Can Be a Dildo If You're Brave Enough.
I will miss being in that writer's room every day with these people who sit around and think and argue and discuss and inspire and laugh.
I'll miss all these people, both in front of the camera and behind, and I'll miss the characters and seeing what they have to say.
It's very rare to be on a job like this, where it's not, you're not just an actor and a director, but it also speaks to such bigger issues. To be a part of that is incredible.
We're living in a different world than we lived in when we started this show. And in a sense, the dialogue that we're having is more important than ever.
Let me ask you a question. What is it you really want?
Ice cream.
and justice.
We were so lucky in the people we attracted, the stories we were able to tell. I hope people felt they got to know characters that they never would have encountered in their real lives and considered that people like this are not the enemy and they're not that different.